Hey friends, happy Sunday and welcome back to another week of What's for Dinner. If you're new here, hello and welcome. I am Taylor. I'm a stay-at-home wife and mom of two, and I share these What's for Dinner videos every Sunday to hopefully motivate you to cook more for your family, to give you some new meal ideas, to share the new meals that I have made for my family. It is currently July 2nd. It's a holiday weekend. Everybody is shooting off fireworks and all that. So hopefully we can get through this voiceover without some loud booms and bangs, but if not, that's what that is in the background if you happen to hear it. But let's go ahead and get into this week's What's for Dinner. Friday night, I started off by slicing up a lemon. I'm going to be making some air fryer salmon. I do this in the oven too, but typically during the summer I will do it in the air fryer. That way I'm not heating up the whole house. So I've laid some salmon on some foil on my air fryer basket, and I'm just brushing it with some melted butter. And then I'm also going to sprinkle it with a little bit of the lemon juice. I just squeezed some of that on there. And then I did some garlic powder, some lemon pepper, and some salt. Some lemon peppers have salt in it, but mine is a no salt one, so that's why I add salt. And then I top it with those lemon slices, and then these go into the air fryer on 350. Mine cooked for about 12 minutes, but it's all going to depend on the thickness of your salmon. To go with our salmon, we just had a little side salad and some garlic parmesan pasta that's really quick and easy to make, and I will leave the recipe for that down below. Lemon pepper salmon is probably our favorite way to have salmon, and it's really good in the air fryer. I definitely recommend trying it if you haven't before. Saturday night we had pizza pasta. This is something that's definitely a favorite, but it's also like easy to make to me, and you don't like need to look at a recipe or anything. You can just kind of wing it and it's good every time. So I start off by browning a pound of ground beef. You could also use sausage, and then I season it up with some garlic powder, onion powder, salt, pepper, Italian seasoning, and some crushed red pepper, and I just let that brown. And then while that's cooking, I work on getting some water to a boil, some salted water, and then when it came to a boil, I cooked up about 8 ounces of pasta. I used this fusilli from Trader Joe's. And then once my meat was done, I added in some green pepper and some pepperoni, and I just use my kitchen shears to cut up the pepperoni. Sometimes I do red pepper, sometimes I do green pepper, sometimes I do no pepper, but really you can add in like whatever pizza toppings you like. And I just let that cook over like a medium-low heat until my pasta was done. Once my pasta was done, I drained it and added it to my meat, and then I added in a jar of marinara sauce and about half a cup of mozzarella cheese, and I stirred that all together to combine it really well. And then I sprinkled on probably about a cup of mozzarella cheese just over the top, and you could put this in the oven if you have an oven safe dish, but I didn't feel like transferring it to another dish, so I just let it sit on the eye for like 5 to 10 minutes on a medium-low heat to get the sauce warm through and the cheese all nice and melty. And here's what that looked like all plated up. As I said, this is a favorite. It's a simple, quick, and easy go-to. Usually I would do a salad with it, but I just wasn't feeling like pulling out all the salad stuff this night. Sunday night, we celebrated my birthday. My birthday was on the 27th, so this was the night before. And I made the cheesy sausage and rice that I made the other week. I will link that video down below. This was delicious, and I knew everyone in my family would love it, so that's why I had to make it again. I also knew it would feed a crowd. Everybody did love it. They raved about it. So definitely try that recipe if you haven't tried it yet. We served it with a salad, and then we had a cinnamon toast crunch cake for dessert, and it was delicious. Everybody loved it. It tasted kind of like a coffee cake, like a cinnamon coffee cake. Only thing is, I sprinkled it with some cereal on top, like crushed cereal. Only do that if the whole cake is going to be eaten on the first night, because after that first night, the cereal gets soggy and it's not great. But yeah, other than that, everybody loved it. So now I'm going to insert a clip of everybody singing happy birthday to me. We even had my sister singing on FaceTime.
Ready? 5 today.
The pink ones are 10, 20, 30, and then 1, 2. Okay?
Oh, don't get it straight. Okay, I got you. I got you.
All right, Lily, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Make a wish.
And many more.
I blew some of the cake off.
Oh, we're going to call her Wendy now.
So Monday night was my actual birthday, and I just wanted something super simple, and BLTs are one of my favorite foods, so I had to make those. Really all I had to do was make some bacon. So I made a bunch of bacon, and we had BLTs. Well, Lily had a bacon, cheese, and tomato. Elijah had a bacon, lettuce, and cheese. I had a traditional BLT, just some mayo on there. Andy did the same thing, but he adds cheese to his. I don't like cheese on my BLT. I love cheese in like anything else, but not on a BLT. Let me know down below if you like cheese on your BLT. But we had that with some sun chips, the cheese sun chips. The kids had onion rings, and then we also had some cantaloupe. Tuesday night, I made a really simple like chicken Alfredo bake. So I'm starting off by seasoning up 2 chicken breasts that I have here with some garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, and some of this Cavender seasoning. And then I sprayed them with a little bit of olive oil spray, and I did that on both sides. And then they went in my air fryer on 350 for about 22 minutes, flipping halfway through. And while they were cooking, I brought some salted water to a boil to cook up 8 ounces of pasta. Here's what the chicken looked like when it was done. I just let it rest for about 5 minutes before dicing it up. And then when my pasta was done, I added it back to the pot, and then I added in my diced up chicken and then 1 jar of Alfredo sauce. And then I filled that jar halfway up with some milk and then shook it around to get the rest of the sauce out. And then I added in a bunch of black pepper. Then I transferred that to a baking dish and topped it with some mozzarella cheese. And then it went in the oven on 350 for about 25 minutes. This turned out really delicious. I didn't know how it was going to be because I really just like threw a bunch of stuff together, but it was really good, and we just had it with some garlic bread. Wednesday night we did smash burgers, and the kids have been asking me for some corn on the cob, so I made sure to pick some of that up to go with them. And I like to do it in the air fryer, so I just spray them down with some of this olive oil spray, and then I sprinkle on some Old Bay. Old Bay is definitely our favorite seasoning to use on corn on the cob. It's just really good. And then these go in the air fryer on 350 for 10 minutes. Then I started prepping my smash burgers, so I just get out my ground beef and roll it into balls. Instead of like forming patties, you want to form balls. I usually get about 5, and this is about 1.25 pounds, like 1.25 pounds. So that's what I do. I don't do any seasoning besides salt and pepper. I really find that it doesn't need a lot of seasoning. So once they get rolled into balls, then I sprinkle the one side with some salt and pepper. And then I've got my cast iron here, nice and hot. I'm going to go in with a little bit of bacon grease, and then I will add in one of the balls, the salt and pepper side down, and then I lay on a little sheet of parchment paper and then use my burger press to press it down. Lily actually was helping me do this, so she did a little bit. And then I will sprinkle it with some more salt and pepper. And then I'll let it cook for a couple of minutes, flip it over, top it with some cheese, let it cook for just a little bit, and then I transfer these to like a little warmed skillet that's on one of the back eyes so that I can continue to make more smash burgers in my cast iron pan, because this is the way that I like to make them. They turn out the best in the cast iron pan. They get a nice like crispy like sear on the outside of them. I tried to make the smash burgers on my griddle and it just did not turn out, so my cast iron pan is the way to go until maybe one day I get a Blackstone when we have a house where I can put it, because I don't think I would take care of it without having a garage to store it in. Here is my corn. Once it was done, I just like to go in and rub it down with some butter so we can have some nice buttery corn. And here is everybody's plate. We've got Elijah's with some lettuce on his cheeseburger. Lily's got some tomatoes on hers, but you can't see it. We had some watermelon to go with this. This was truly like a very summery meal, and it was delicious. Thursday night we had some Italian beef sandwiches. This is our crock pot night because we've got martial arts and we get home late. So this sounded really good. I really wanted like Mississippi pot roast, but with it being so hot, I didn't want like the gravy, like potato, like or rice or something. I wanted something a little bit lighter. These sandwiches were filling, but they were lighter than like Mississippi pot roast. So in my crock pot, I've got a big chuck roast, about 3 pounds, and then I do a Italian dressing seasoning packet, and then about 3 cups of beef broth and some pepperoncinis and some of the juice, and then just put the lid on this. I let this cook on high for 6 hours, and at 6 hours it was done and like tender enough for me to shred. And this was like right before we were going to be leaving for martial arts, so I went in, I shredded it up, I took out big chunks of fat, and then I just let it sit on low until we came back about an hour and a half later. And then I put together our sandwiches. So for our sandwiches, I used some little deli like sandwich rolls, and I opened them up, got some of the beef on there, some provolone cheese, and then I threw this in the air fryer for about 5 minutes on 350, just so the bread could get nice and toasty and the cheese could get nice and melty. We have had these before. They are delicious. Highly recommend them. So good. The beef is just so good. It's so tender and it has great flavor. So to go with this, we just had a salad for those of us that like salad, and Lily had some fresh veggies. As I said, this meat, these sandwiches are delicious. The leftovers are really good too. Please try this recipe. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried it. It's so good. But that is going to be it for this week's What's for Dinner. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave me a thumbs up. Hope that you got some new meal ideas. If you did, let me know which ones you plan on trying in the comments down below. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.